And what I suggest is to open your game in a review window using Panda GL
Oops.
because if we
Okay.
use, I mean, you can still stay connected on PandaGo, but if we load the game
Mm-hmm.
in PandaGo, you're not going to be able to save the variation at the end, and that's a pity. But well, you can still look up the video afterwards on Twitch.
Do you want me just to open it in the Twitch review tool?
Uh, no, actually, it's better for me to load your game, and then you should just join the review board.
Okay, that'd be great.
Let me show you. Just a second. I just need to disconnect for a second. Hang on. From
Okay.
I mean, and connect with my account. Let me do this. I think you had many opportunities this game, early in the game, and you missed them, but we will talk about it real quick. Just a moment.
Perfect.
And then you let him kill you. Nice guy.
Yeah. It's Thanksgiving.
I
I'm
understand.
pretty generous, so.
It's a holiday we don't have here, but I know you do have it. The Turkey Day, huh? That's famous. So let me find this. As Jeff. Is it Daniel ML01, right?
Yep, that's correct.
So I'm connected using Panda GLGO. That's an older client for IGS, and I'm
Okay.
going to create a review, and you need to find it. Oh, just a second. So if you look in rooms, maybe you'll see a game Cornel versus Cornel, or a game review of Cornel. That's your file. You probably need to refresh the games list.
Okay, how do I do that? I'm sorry.
Go back to rooms in your client, and on the right you have the
Okay,
players,
yep.
and on the left you have the games. So
Right.
in the top left, if you order the games by rank, you should see my game in the top of the list.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, just double click on it. Let me know when you have it up.
Okay, I'm in observe mode now, so.
Right, you're in the room. Perfect.
Yep.
So let me put the tree file here. Like this, we can save all the variations at the end, so you can just have them to review again later. So my idea
Fantastic.
is to look at this game real quick. Well, maybe it will take a little while, and then we can play a game, even game or handicap game, if we have the time. Well,
Yeah, that'd be great.
if we see the time, it's not a problem. I'm not in a rush today.
Okay.
You were
Perfect.
back, right?
Yep.
The star was pretty solid. I like it. This pincer, it's quite popular nowadays, even if you're playing black or
Okay.
white. Why did you choose it?
I really like the Shusaku opening,
Uh-huh.
and I've only learned it a little bit, and that's the common, I guess, perfect pincer.
Yeah, it looks
It
good,
builds the top side, and
yeah.
yeah.
And it works pretty well with the top right shimari. Are you familiar with the Japanese Go terms, like the basic ones, I guess?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Okay, that's good. So, well, if you don't understand any, you can just stop me and ask. Well, in this position,
Okay.
you can, most of the times, for white, when he's playing against a Shimari and a Komoku, this kind of Q3, 3-4 cornerstone, he should approach high. I mean, this is the most common way. And then usually you just
Okay.
attach and take the corner right away.
Yep.
This is like the basic Fuseki pattern. And then you just approach here once, and it's usually center. And then you're going to play something on the left side. Maybe something like C10 or one of the attack moves, like F.
Oh, okay. So from that position, splitting is the best on the left side?
It's pretty balanced because you don't want him to get a move in the middle of the left side to connect all that side. In the beginning of the game,
Oh, okay.
usually you want to play in the most open areas as much as you can. So after you take the two corners, you challenge him for the corners. But here it feels good to split because he's got two Hoshis, and if you play, it just breaks up his balance playing in the middle of the left side. That's
Gotcha.
quite common in this Fuseki pattern. But he played the low approach, which is quite popular nowadays because people are trying to mimic AlphaGo game a lot, and AlphaGo is playing this kind of move more often than the high approach. And I really like this R9 because it works pretty well with the top right Shimari. It's the right distance between your stones here on the right side. So what he could do here, he jump out, right? He played this one space jump.
Yep.
He could play the attach at R3 if he wants to fix immediately. And then you're going to play Hane. Then this is the vital point at Q4. He will no be. Black will no be. White will pull back to make some eye shape. Then you extend to space jump like this. And in this position, he can simply play Tenuki, play somewhere else, because there is Miai between playing this point and turning here. So white it's already settled. So in this position, he can play something like K17, for example. And when you attack him here, he's going to turn into the corner and the other way around. If you attack him like this, he will extend for a base here.
Gotcha.
That's a very simple Joseki White could choose. Now, he can also think about this kind of move to put pressure, where you got a Nobi to go out. And here you can jump right away. Simply get ahead. That's also important.
Okay.
And now there are some Josekis here, but probably the most simple one is this. And what happens here, white will just leave in the corner, and you have some kind of influence with those stones and the jump, and then you're going to attack from this side, and probably slide once, and then extend here. So you're going to make a little more on the bottom side. On the right side, you let him leave small. That's also a classic follow-up. And another way for white to think about this position is to discard this R5 stone and place some kind of approach here. Then you're going to split his stones with a Kosumi. He extends on the bottom. You attack his R5 by playing the attach at R4. And now he simply plays somewhere else. Sanrensei or any other move.
And black is pretty much settled in the lower right then?
Yeah, after you have those three moves against R5, your corner is super solid. Well, there is still Aji. As long as R5 is on the board, well, you need another move here to kill it, but you're not going to play it now. It's too slow to play too many moves in one area. You have to go for the open sides again. So that's a possibility for white, just to give up on that R5 for now and develop on the bottom side. But Q players or double-digit Q players, they don't consider giving up their stones. They hold on to every soldier.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So that's why he probably jump out. Actually, another option is to play something like R7, just one space jump. And then you Keima like this. He plays a slide to fix a base on the right side, and then you extend K3. That's a very simple Joseki and an easy development for both sides. So he jumped, then you play the move on the 4th line. This is very good. You're one step ahead on the 4th line. He attached in the corner, you play the Hane. He went down, and now you play something that's played in a different Joseki. This P2, which is the vital point. In this position, there's a different move, which is a key point. Which one is that?
It feels a little more like P3 is better.
It's actually Q4. Because when you push like this, you're taking away the move that he can make to build twice, and you're trying to separate. So he will block, and now you can extend. Instead of playing P2 or P3 or S2, you can just extend something like this. Because he can't cut you anymore. If he plays P4, you block, and if he cuts here, you can just kill the stone like that.
Okay, I see.
But if you don't want him to get all these forcing moves like Atari and this one, you can just Atari under. In this position, you play O2, and then you play N2. But anyway, compared to the game, you have a much more resilient shape on the bottom. It's not
that
going
makes
to die.
sense.
And the thing with Q4, it's if you don't play it, let's say here he plays Q4, what are you going to do? Atari or extend? I mean P3 or S3?
Oh, P3 is going to be much stronger. I want to keep my stones connected.
Yeah, if you play S3, he's going to play Atari from the outside. Then you capture a stone. Then he Atari again. You can find this kind of ko in the beginning of the game. If you play, for example, P4 here and he captures a ko, no matter what code rate you find, like attach here or whatever, he'll take again. He just close his eyes and eliminate the call. And this corner, it's a
Yep.
disaster already. So what happens, he's going to Atari, you connect, then he connects here, and now you probably just connect on the right side. He can play a Nobi, but he doesn't need. And then if you capture another stone here, you're going to be like, I don't know, 6-7 points in the corner, but the thickness white has on the outside, it's quite nice for to compensate the corner. So it's pretty good for white overall.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably going back here, and then if he goes down, you need to extend. But for white to play this move, Q4, it's a nice shape because he makes eye shapes on the spot with that move. So he didn't play it, which means you should take it right away. That's an important move for both sides. So you always want to play your opponent's good point. Playing P2, it's like you have this other Joseki. Let's go back a little bit. Let's say he plays Q5. Then you play Keima here. He attaches in the corner R3. Then you go R2. He pulls back, and now you play P2. And in this case, you play P2 because it gives you eye shape, and he needs to extend on the right side. Because if you're going to play something like P3, many times I've seen in Q players games, especially low Q players, playing this move. And then when white blocks S2, you need another move like Q2 or Q1, right? Because if you want to play Hane in the corner, S1, white will just cut. And now you gotta fight a ko with Q1, which is again painful because in the beginning of the game, it's difficult to find ko threats. Hard to win ko in Fuseki. So that's why you gotta play P2 to keep your eye shape. Oops, that's a misclick. And in case he plays S2, you can play S1 because you're already protected at Q2, so he has to go down. This kind of exchange S1, S2, it's usually happening in the end game. So back to the actual game. When you play this move P2, I think he blocked once, yeah. And now you should play P4. This is quite proper because it gives you eye shape. And later in the game, you can attack his group with a peep at Q6.
Okay.
So you jump. Well, on the right side, even if you jump like this, there's enough space for white to invade something like R15, let's say. But we can talk about it later. Anyway, would be proper to play P4. And if you don't want to play P4 and you don't care about Atari, you can still leave. You can play a big point like splitting the left side or attack from the top. Because if you're attacking the top and he just defends like this and you go K16, you're going to develop very nice. You have a Shimari, you have one extension on the right side and another extension in the top. That's usually an ideal setup to have a corner enclosure and extensions on both sides. So this would be good for black. So now what happens? You accept this kind of Atari. This happened later in the game, but now you should give him the corner. You should let him have it. Because anyway, he invested lots of stones here and simply extend for a base like this. And if he captures another stone, it's no big deal. He invests so many stones in the corner for a few extra points, and then you extend again. So you're just winning tempo. Every time you give him a stone, you take an extension, and you're probably going to be like 10 points or more. So if you just count the points here, it's like 1, 2, 3 stones he captured. That's 6 points plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's like 10 points, but he spent 3 moves for that. He played once Atari, then he took, then he played another move in Gote here. Because when he played here, he played Atari and he had to capture. So he played 3 stones to build something like 10 points, which means each move he played was like 3 points value. It's really small.
Gotcha.
So that's how you win some speed in the beginning. Okay, so you jump, then what happens? He took this extension. Well, with this move, he still gave you a chance to come back and fix your group. So you gotta play this move if you really want to.
Okay.
Or maybe you can think about M3, but it's still difficult to react when he goes Atari. You still have to sacrifice, and it will be something like this, and Atari under, and if he connects, you make some eye shape. And you're quite strong. Anyway,
Okay.
those are just details about the files on the bottom. But they
Mhm.
can have... This is good direction of play. Very nice. So your judgment was good in Fuseki. His attach is questionable, but playable. Normally just f4. For white to play a move like this, gives him a pretty nice shape on the bottom side. So, and it doesn't strengthen your stone. What are you going to do next if white just extends f4?
Oh
You
gosh,
have
I
a
would
few
probably
options.
do. I'd probably do a large knight's move at around d9.
Just here? It's
Yeah, yeah.
possible. But if you play that kind of move, he'll probably approach at c11. Because like this, he can
Gotcha.
threaten your base with a move like b9 or maybe c8 after that. So maybe
Okay.
in this case, you just slide and extend on the third line. That's a little safer when your base is on the third
Okay.
line. And it's more territorial when you play moves on the third line. Also, if you don't like him getting a too big corner, you can invade c3 right away. And usually what happens, he will push here once, then you try to connect. And now he's got two options. He can block here if he wants to build the bottom, or he can separate at b5. But in this case, when he has the extension at k3, he's interested in the bottom side. So he will just block and play one Atari, because like this white will end up in center, and then he'll play something in the top, k17 or maybe just f17 to be very conservative and tight. But you
Okay.
can also extend on the left side right away. Anyway, let's see what happened. The guy played the attach, then Hane. This Joseki was good. Very nice to take this vital point. Most of the time people omit this move, but that's important. If you play any other move, for
Okay.
example, if you just play here, he's very happy to block like this. Because he's going to make
Sure.
a nice tiger mouth shape, and you know why you play that move,
Yeah, yeah.
huh? Then c10, very nice too, yeah. Now he protected. He was afraid a little bit of this cut at d5. He can still play here. But if you look back at the sequence, you know, he played all those moves, the contact and so on. If we go back to the original approach, when white plays a move here, and you extend something like c10, he's not going to play the attach at d6 and then Hane and go up and this and this. Because like this, he loses the invasion at c8. So in this position, he can just invade here. Well, he doesn't have to do it right away, but he has this option. So as long
Okay.
as the position is thin for black, for example, he can approach like this, and then you say, okay, how about I develop my top side where it's the last open space to cover, and then your shape on the left side is pretty thin, so now he can come inside. But once he played the contact move, he just strengthened your left side, so it was impossible to invade anymore. So this is actually good for black locally.
Yeah.
Especially that you got center. He came back to protect at f3. Well, he could protect f4 to have a more balanced shape with a k3, but that's already sensitive. So now
Okay.
you attack the top. Oh, here you could punish him so well. Now the Joseki here normally, instead of this Hane, is to play just Nobi. And then you gotta play this move, connect, he plays here, and then you jump, and he extends again. So this is like the basic pattern. But he played a Hane, so in this position you gotta punish him. And you play just Hane here, which can lead to a soft punishment, more or less. I will show you both sequences, but the harsh one is to go down at c18. What do you think white will do next?
I guess white would either do like b15 or would drop down at
d18, right?
d18. Yeah.
Yeah, because he wants to separate. I mean, that was his original plan when he blocked your d17. He wants to keep you split, so he will block d18.
Right.
Then you're going to cut him, which is much more powerful than what happened in the game. So you cut right away.
Okay.
And now he has to save the 3 stones or to save the 1 stone. So most of the time, they're going to save the 3 stones with Atari and f16 here. And what happens now,
Okay.
you just take the stone. So compared to the Joseki, you already have this stone in pocket and the corner is much bigger. I mean, if you compare
Mm-hmm.
this sequence with the classic variation, in the classic variation, you jump to c14, so your corner it's only like 8 to 10 points, but now your corner is bigger, and you also have nice potential on the left side. So these two stones with the extension of 3 spaces away is just an ideal shape. So this way, it's a nice way to punish immediately. But what happens in this position, many times your opponents will become very ambitious and they will try to save that stone on the left. And now they're thinking, okay, if I go out here, I can set up a ladder. But once you cut, the ladder it's already broken. So it doesn't work to play Atari like that, because black will turn with Atari.
Right.
So now they're thinking, okay, the ladder doesn't work. I gotta save my 3 stones. So they will play here trying to connect under. What's the Tesuji to capture those 3 stones now? It's quite a famous.
Uh, yeah, isn't it just D18?
You
Or
mean
excuse
E18,
me,
right? Yeah.
E18. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the move. Because if he plays E17, he puts himself in Atari, and if he plays E19, you're just going to Atari, and then Atari again from the outside, and it's finished. Well, you can
Yep.
also Atari here if you want, and kill more stones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way. And the other way, I think sometimes they realize it's a problem by playing F18, so they're going to try to escape playing Atari and then Hane to connect under. But it still doesn't work, because you have Atari on the first line, and now when you cut, white is down to 2 liberties, so it's game over. So this could
Yep.
happen, and you could finish the game right here. 100 moves earlier, or maybe more moves.
Yeah.
Another way, so you go down. Yeah, if he plays here, you connect under and you're happy because that stone doesn't get separated anymore, and now he needs to extend for a base. And then you can attack from the other side. Now his H17 will feel a little bit threatened, and he jumps out. And wait a second. Then you jump again, and you're going to build the corner, the sides, everything, and white is simply over concentrated. That's called Korigatachi. Not so pleasant for him.
Right.
So when you play like that, the Hane and he connects. Now you have another Tesuji here, the clamp Tesuji. You can just play this move, the attach, instead of Hane on the second line. Playing Hane on the second.
Yeah, I know there's something with the D15 cut, and I just don't know the sequence well.
So the thing is, when you play here, if he comes back to D15 and then you connect under, this is already a little positive for black compared to the Joseki, because this exchange shouldn't be played too early. White has to keep that in reserve as a code threat, and it's just an Ajikeshi. He simply eliminates the weakness in that corner. So once he connects, it's already like a little plus for black. But sometimes they will just go down. They say, so what, you play the attach, I can cut you. And now you cut them back. And what happens here, he will probably just Atari, and you go out. Then he has to save the 2 stones on the left. And now you play the another clamp here, and those 4 stones die. So again, you get a much bigger corner than you're supposed to compared to any Joseki. So this is the way to punish.
Okay.
You should use that clamp. I'm pretty sure he would go down, and then you cut him, and it's a nice corner. Anyway, you're still okay. So you push again, then Hinobi, and now you gotta play somewhere else. That's a big point. Well, if you wanna use the edge of F17, sorry, you can go down once to see how he reacts. In this position, he can Hane under, or he can go down to keep you separated. And then you can approach all the way to K17, threatening to save those 2 stones. And even if you don't save them, you use them just as bait. So he plays more moves here to make sure he's safe and connected. And then you jump out, something like this. So you're going to build more than just playing M17. Or if you want to make sure you build that area, you play M16. But you don't have to play all the moves on the third line. It can be, you can alternate third line and fourth line, so it's more balanced. Many times when you build your territory, you gotta think of them like they are in a shape of waves. So you're going up and down like that. Otherwise, it's too flat if you have all the stones on the third line. So if you just have a stone at M17 and later you play another one at K17, so maybe he can still play here to remove the RG. Then you play K17. Those moves are too low. too many
Mm-hmm.
stones
Mm-hmm.
on the third line. So he turned here, and here you panicked and you play another move in the corner, right? You
Yeah.
shouldn't. You have more space than 16 square there, so that's pretty safe. Let's see what happens if he tries to kill you. For example, you play a move here to prevent an invasion, or you come back to protect the bottom group. Anyway, somewhere else. And now he plays Hane. This is actually this shape appears a lot, so it's a classic life and death situation. And now you gotta leave. You have two options. You can play B16 or A16. Otherwise, he takes the two stones and you die. So if you play somewhere else again, now you don't have enough space for twice. This will die. Because when you
Right.
play B19, it's like a, I don't know, 20Q life and death situation. Only one eye.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
let's go back here. He plays the Hane, and you play A16. Or actually, let's play B16 first, the solid connection. This is the so-called L group with two legs. You have one small extension here and one small extension here. So there's plenty of space, but he will still hit the vital point, which is B18, the 2-2 point. Most of the time in the 2-2 point you can live or die, so he'll try. And now you Hana in the corner, B19, then he has to go down, A18. And now what's the move to secure your eyes?
Well, it looks like I can create Miai with A17.
Right, yeah. So when you play A17, you can either go down at D19 or you can block A15. So it's one or the other. When he plays here, you have twice like this. And now the difference between playing B16 and A16 earlier, it's about 1 point. Because you see the life you have now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. At the end, you still need to play inside and capture the two stones. So you will take these two, which is 4 points, and you make this point. Because you gotta remove them when all the neutral points are filled. So this will be 5 points. And if we go back to the variation when you play this move, what happens here, he can go inside A18. Now you gotta play this move. You played it in the game, but you shouldn't. Then he's going to connect A13. You have to play Atari A17. He plays a throw-in. You can't connect, because if you connect, he'll take everything, so you die. Now you gotta capture. He will play Atari here. You need to take the stone in the corner. He can Hane, but you block. And then he can take two stones, and you take one back. So in the end, you make this point. Well, these are 2 points, because you capture a stone. I mean A18. Then there's another point at B19. Oh, why doesn't let me put some marks here? So that's 3 points plus 1 point here. These are 4 points. So compared to the other variation, it can be 1 point less. This usually matters, when the game is really close and you can lose by half a point because you didn't protect properly. But it's just a very sensitive detail. But anyway, you didn't have to play a move in advance to protect. And another nice tumego that happens with this position, let's say you play against somewhere else. Oops. So like this, and white goes down. With this move, let's suppose he's threatening an invasion at C8 and connect under, but he's also threatening to kill the corner. So when you play something like C8 to make sure your left side is safe, he can kill you by playing B16 and try to guess the next move. If you're right,
the next move.
Kill, yeah.
Well, it's
a vital point, which means usually a move inside the corner. So
right. I mean, I would think B2, right?
B
or no?
It's A18.
Oh, sorry.
Because
18, not 2.
Yeah, B2 it's in this corner, but all right. So if you play A18 and he tries to leave, for example, playing this move, you just play A15 and then force his eye on the outside. That's the meaning of playing A13 for white. And then when black tries to leave with this move, it's just one eye. And like that is the bulky 5 shape. And again, the vital point is here.
Okay.
Anyway, I can send you later a few interesting life and death situations. as homework. So let's move on.
That's fair.
All right, so you defend here, where well, it's -1 move, because you could play that stone anywhere on the board.
Okay.
Then he attack you here, quite interesting. But he can still try this move, c8. What happens if you go on top and just make a wall? He can connect under.
Right.
Well, it's no big deal. He's got some cutting points, so he needs to protect here, and then you jump out. So you have a little wall and you jump into the center, because there's no way to live on the side. No space for two eyes on the edge, so you gotta run into the middle. But he shouldn't try, actually. It's more interesting for white to do something on the right side. For example, this move. How would you react to this invasion? I think he played something on the right and he almost died. You were nice to let him leave.
Thanks.
But yeah. Well, I guess it's difficult to stream and to play focus in the same time, because you're talking to the audience and it's hard to focus to all the fight going on, right?
There's that, and I'm not the greatest at reading either, so
Yeah, well, you're going to improve. This is the way white can play to fix some eye shape, because you gotta go down. If you try to resist with the no-B, he can play Atari and capture two stones. But anyway, even if this happens, he has a running group and you build territory, so it's okay. You chase his stones. They're going to run. Just a second,
Yep.
Somebody's calling me here. All right. So this can happen if he invades the right side, but he invaded the left, and he didn't gain much there. You block on top, then you block again. This is good. You should Hane immediately, because with this Hane, if he doesn't respond, you're going to cut B11. So he needs to play here, and then you play this move, and you're fine.
Gotcha.
You need to fix that group somehow. Right now you played, you went out from these two. No need to activate that edge yet. And anyway, it's interesting to play here. And then when he plays this move, you go Atari. And when he plays this one, you can play here. He's going to Hane. You play this one. He will try to capture two stones, but you don't care. It's already a nice profit. You can go up. He takes two. It's no big deal, because he was already strong in that area. He had the wall. He had the potential. But you should think of something large, like, okay, you play this Hane once, and then, for example, jump here and try to enclose a big box. It said that Moyos should have a box shape usually. So if you manage to build something like, I don't know, 50, 60 points just playing this kind of box on the right side, it's a winner. So back to the original game. You try to run out. Oh no, white can defend better. He should play the hanging connection, because if you block, you're going to be Gote, and then he jumps here, and now you became a target. It's hunter hunted. Those stones are running. It's not really interesting to make a group out of a stone that's not so important, because now you gotta hold on to your group and you keep running and you're busy and you're not going to build somewhere else. That's how you can lose the sight or the big picture.
Okay.
So he connected. Then you make some shape to go out. Actually, what you can do here, those stones are pretty close to his thickness, so you should just discard them. Play something like this, and give him the stones as bait, just no B, and let him have them. It's not even difficult for him to capture like this. Maybe like this. And then again, look at the right side, where you can build a lot with a jump here. Okay, maybe that looks a bit too artistic. But yeah, some jump.
No, I like artistic games.
Yeah, it's your field, huh?
Yeah.
Go. It's a form of art too. So you can fight a little better here. You can play the attach. He let you a bit too loose, and then if he Hane, you can cross cut, and it's going to be more interesting than the actual game. If he plays Atari here, you go out, then he connects, then you can block. He doesn't gain so much in the fight like this. If he goes here, you just go out, and you connect your stones. So again, the right side will become big. You had to look on the side where you have more potential. Probably you were thinking with
Sure.
those jumps, it's just big enough to reduce his potential. But
Yeah, that was my
yeah,
thought.
it makes sense. I mean, the moves are saying, telling a message. So anyway, you
Hmm.
were fighting here quite hard, and you were alive, but somehow everything died, huh?
No, the top side didn't die.
Well, he didn't,
I
but
only
he
lost.
could kill it later in the game if he
Yeah, he
plays
could kill
Atari
it.
age 15.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you could also leave. You had many opportunities to leave.
Hmm.
Oh, how he invaded. Wow, that second line move.
Yeah.
You can just block S16, but I guess his
Okay.
plan is to go R12 now, and then you can cap,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
and he still struggles to leave. It's complicated, but you can, yeah, you can also play R13. Looks like he's dying. Yeah, this move I like. It's nice. So now you block and it's finished. Actually, not like this. S16, because if for him it's easy to make the eyes on the edges. So you gotta take the base away first. If he keeps jumping out here, he's going to hit your wall on the left. So where to run?
Right.
He's already blocked. So and no base. He can play the attach. You block. Then he plays this move. You connect, and he can make maximum one eye, which means he's dead. You play here for safety, and that's it. I think you can still kill
I see.
even after he played this push and you turn. Okay, that's all Sente. Hane, good. Ah, now you should go down. Because that's
Oh,
where he
okay.
makes eyes. And if he plays a move like that, you can try to surround, let's see, like this.
Oh,
Or
okay.
maybe just one space jump once. Can he run into the middle and escape? It still looks very difficult for him. He has no eye yet. On the right side there is zero eyes. Even if he plays Atari, he cannot make an eye. And in the
Hmm.
middle, if he keeps pushing like this, let's say he plays all these moves and Atari and everything, he's probably going to make one eye. Ah, not even one eye. Because you can force this one.
I see.
Yeah, so he dies in Gote. If this happens, you protect your group and he's still dead. And when he makes an eye here, this one you gotta protect because it's Hane and double Atari. But the eye on the right side, it's impossible to make. Yeah, so you had a big chance to kill this one, this group, and then it's game over. But I
I
guess
see.
your opponent won't resign. At this level, nobody resigns. They gamble.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, because you never know. You can come
Hmm.
back from any position. Like here, his peep has nothing to do with the fight. He should play immediately S13 and make eyes and be happy that he escaped luckily. That's all. If he plays the peep, you
Sure.
can just come back and kill him with this move and let him push
I
and
see.
cut. The group on the right is still bigger. So you cover, you
Got
try
it.
to kill all, then he leaves. Now it's a bit tricky. He could cut you R12, but okay, he finally lived. And you protect it. Okay, that's more like an endgame move. Let's see what happens. Atari, punk, punk, punk. Yeah, let's say you play here. Then he cuts. Then you play this move. He comes out. You play this one. And he's in a net already. Because if he plays the Hane to capture you, you just go Atari. And you capture all.
Okay.
But he's not going to cut you. He can play just S11. Because now you can't resist. If you go down, he will cut like that. Then it's Atari, go out, Atari again, capture two stones, and you need to save the ones on the right. That's a little
Hmm.
bit painful, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
So I understand why you protected R11, but still, it's bigger to protect this lower right corner, because when you die here, it's like, I don't know, 50 points advantage for white. And now when he plays the clamp, you just let him connect under. Well,
Okay.
also a little bit painful, because you hope to build a lot on the right side and now everything is gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe now the game doesn't look so good. And your only chance is to, well, you mentioned it earlier, to kill this group up top. And you almost did.
Hmm.
But you need to find a way to attack it that he doesn't really see your plan. So He pushed here once, then you went out. You don't have to block here. You should go after the
Okay.
top group. Just cap it like this. And if he comes to the right, you push once, he no-B, and then you separate. So all you have to do is to drive him into your wall on the right side. Something like this.
Okay.
And it's like he's running like a snake, but he hits your wall and he dies. Big dragons sometimes die.
Yeah, I know.
So you block, you jump. Oh, that move you don't need. You could split the groups. Because if he plays here the bamboo, then you also connect like that. So it's fine. And with the move at L12, you still keep the pressure on the top group. But he'll probably go out. Then you need to jump out too. Then he jumps again. But it's too obvious, you know, he still plays one space jumps to escape, and you need probably some move around here to threaten to reduce the bottom side. But also you're looking at the middle group. So it's a double purpose in one move.
Sure.
Otherwise, it's just too easy for white to see your plan. Well, he answered, then you protect. Well, right now he needs to jump out. He should see the danger. So let's see how could you kill the group a little later. This way you kill the stones on the left. But that makes him stronger. That was risky. He can play Atari. And Atari again. And take this stone. And now if you go Atari here, he will connect with a cut. And if you try to save your stones on the left side, what happens? He can throw in here, which is a bit painful, and Atari for ice, and then split your groups. So your stones here are in trouble, and also the ones in the top. So all of a sudden it's hunter hunted, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now back to the game. So he blocked, you had the time to take the stones. You know what's the difference between playing Atari here and playing the Atari you played in the game? It looks like being the same, but it's actually not. The problem is, let's suppose you fight a ko somewhere on the board, like here. You have a big ko fight going on. Let's say something like this happens. And now he goes Atari here. And you're thinking the ko is quite important, so you want to eliminate the ko. And then he captures 2 stones, which means he automatically captures another stone, this 8-10.
Right.
So when you play the Atari from the other side, and we have the same scenario, like we have a ko fight, because that thing, he doesn't have to play Atari 8-12 right away to eliminate the Agi, so he can use it as a ko threat. That's another concept that you don't see too much happening in Q player games. They don't delay the ko threats, they play them right away. When they see the ko threat is possible, or I mean the forcey moves, they just play it like immediately. So now if we have the ko again and he goes Atari here, you're going to eliminate the ko, he takes 2 stones, but your outside stone didn't die. So that's the difference. It's a slight difference, but again, you can lose games by half a point, losing other points when you shouldn't in the process.
Sure.
So he played this Hane instead of any other move. Actually, he can play Atari here anytime, which he did at some point. This move, and you got to take.
Yep.
And then he should play something like this and try to attack your top group.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting him to do that after that sequence.
A14.
After I realized what was
A14 doesn't
happening.
do much. It keeps you separated, but you're alive with both groups, so it just gave you a breather. Like you can go out, huh?
Okay.
You shouldn't play B18. Well, now you know. And anyway, the vital point looks much more nice when you play this kind of move. B18, it's an empty triangle, something to avoid in general. So, okay, you lost another move there. Then he played the Atari. Oh, Atari here. Difficult to leave like that. Crawl on the second line is bad. So you can play this Atari. He takes. You can try Atari again and fight the ko, but you can just extend. And now if he takes another stone, you play Atari. You gotta accept that these few stones in the corner die, and you save the most important part, or the bigger part of the group. Like you just give him the tail and you save the rest.
Okay.
So playing like that, it's difficult, huh? Because
Yeah, I
you
chose
can't,
the wrong
yeah, you can't
direction
leave. You have
for sure.
6 on the 1, 2, 3, yeah, 6 on the second line. So the proverb says 6 on the second line die, 8 on the second line leave. And there was no ladder,
Yep.
nothing, huh? Yeah,
No.
he just killed you. Now it's game over.
Yep.
Yeah, you can probably resign. So the last resort was, oh, this Atari is not even Sente. He doesn't have to answer. He
Yeah.
can
No.
play any other move, Atari here, for example, and when you capture 2 stones, he takes 1 back. So that's
Mhm.
minus. Then, okay, this thing happened, but he lost the move. He played T3, and he didn't. Now you jump out. He jumps too. You peep. That's okay. You got a split. Okay, you go out. Oh, you almost kill him here. It's a bit thin to try that move, but what else? Normally just here. But
Okay.
then he'll go out. And it's difficult to catch that group now. He can just push. Tough. But like this, it's also
Yep.
difficult to surround. Because he's very strong on the left side, so he can cut your G11 pretty soon. I think it happened in a few moves, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, now it's pretty much game over. Well,
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
can leave. Let's see if you play Atari and connect. Ah, this was actually okay. Then you can play another Atari here. Well, he can capture also.
Mhm.
But it's the same. He can build more and remove a liberty. But now, difficult. When you connect the 3 stones, he doesn't have to separate you yet. He can play Atari here. When you capture, he can push. And when
Yep.
you connect here, he just surrounds everything. No way to escape now. But he
Yep.
let you escape somehow. Well, it didn't matter because the lower right corner
Yeah.
was
He
free.
he let me live. Yeah.
Well, probably he just wanted to make sure. Yeah, here when he plays the Hane, those 5 stones are captured. So you played
Mhm.
Atari, he took 2 stones. Then you play this move, and now he should just Atari here. And when no
Mhm.
B, it's finished.
Yep.
Yeah, but now you play this one. You took, yeah, you leave, and you still lose by a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
We can save this game and play a really quick one if you have the time and the
Sure.
mood.
Yeah. I have the time to play a game for
All
sure.
right. So, just a moment. I need to save this one real quick. So you have all the variations and everything. And I'm going to connect back on Panda GL Go. Sorry,
Okay.
Go Panda 2. The client looks pretty nice, but it has these problems with the reviews. They don't have this feature where you can save the review after the game.
Oh yeah. It tells me it automatically saves it, but
Yeah, it says
I have
that,
no
but
idea where
it,
it
it
saves
just
it to.
goes somewhere. I mean, I know I talked to
Yeah.
the guys who developed the client and they don't care so much. Shall we play a 5 handicap game to make it more entertaining?
Sure. That'd be fun.
We can also play even games, but a little help would be good for you to have a
Yeah, I
few
think so.
stones. Yeah. So enjoy the game.
Okay. Handicap game. So since I have so many stones around,
That means more prisoners
um,
for white.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Try not to lose the one in the middle. The Tengen, it's important.
I know Tengen's the most important stone, of course.
It's called heaven, huh? Just a moment. I gotta send a quick message to a friend of mine who called earlier.
Sure. Hmm. You guys know I'm gonna lose. There's just no question. Okay. The chat is telling me to play well. We'll see if it happens. Oh, either way, feel free to talk and give your insight. Since this is a teaching game, you don't have to
Oh,
mute
okay.
anything. Yeah.
Well, I'm multitasking here, answering some messages on Skype, phone,
Sure.
drinking some juice. Anyway, I talk continuously for 45 minutes, so now it's your turn.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. I really appreciate you teaching me.
Thank you. So, play your best and don't disappoint the viewers. Stay
Well,
alive.
they're familiar with how much I derp, so they won't be disappointed anyway.
All right. Well, a key principle in Fuseki, both in even games and in handicap games, is to always focus and try to catch the big points in the most open sides. Like in this position, the bottom side was quite open, so that's why I played the move
Okay.
here first. Of course, attacking the corner. Corners are gold. First you go for corners, then for sides, then for center. But you
Yep.
always have to look for the biggest open spaces. Well, in a handicap game, you already have the stones on the biggest spots on the board, so it's easier. But white can play confusing moves like spreading or throwing the stones all over the board and try to mess black up a little bit. For example, this move.
Okay.
I need to catch up with tricks like that.
Yeah. I get a lot of invasions like this.
Good luck then.
I think attaching underneath and trying to connect both sides is a good idea, but
It usually
there's
works,
a lot
but
of...
in this position can be tricky.
Okay.
That's a kind of trick played in handicap games in particular to force black into a bad shape.
Right.
But in general, that kind of move is good to connect under. Or if white goes invades up down, then black will attach above. So pretty good shape this time. So I need to run. No base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I can invade here at this point. I guess my two stones on top are in danger a little bit, but...
Yeah, this invasion is good. It's good to look all over the board and play flexible. Wow. Now that's a bit questionable.
Okay.
But you can connect, huh?
Maybe.
All right, we'll see. All right. That looks alive. But all the stones are on the second line.
Yeah.
Good news.
That is a that that is a problem with that invasion.
Yeah, well, you could just pull back at N3 and then connect O2 and P2. Like this, it
Okay.
feels like you got pushed too low.
I see.
But it worked, yeah. You took away some points. So, no co-fight.
I'm gonna avoid the co-fight for now.
All right.
Let's see.
I play proper.
I kind of want to shore up this middle side group a little bit.
Did you read a book called Lessons in the Fundamentals of Go?
I'm on the last chapter right now.
Uh-huh.
So I'm on the Tsuji chapter, but I read Tsuji by James Davies quite a
Oh, that's
while
a good
ago.
one.
Yeah, it's
In
really
Lessons in
good.
the Fundamentals, the guy is saying that you don't have to peep at the cutting point. You should always cut where you can cut. Well, or most of the times. So
Okay.
that's good.
So I
A
should
good
have
fundamental.
cut it at C7 then
But it
right
didn't
away.
work to cut immediately because I can just Atari and push it down. But you
Mhm.
shouldn't play C8 because it just made me stronger, and now your 4 stones are a little bit floating, and they're pretty heavy too.
Okay. Oh, these four
Yeah,
in the
those
bottom. Yeah.
exactly. They can die, but I'm also a little bit afraid of my top group, so should do something about that.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
That's floating too.
Yeah.
Nice move.
So I'm thinking it cuts your groups apart and then threatens the right side a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I
Okay.
don't like it. So let's
Okay.
sorry.
No worries.
All right, then let's jump out. When in danger, simply go into the middle. It's always good to
Okay.
separate your opponent's groups and gain something while attacking, so why not?
What can I get away with? I can get away with this a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I should protect. Let's see here.
Yep, I've been expecting this for a while.
Well, I'm looking for some eye shape.
Yeah, yeah.
Good move. Let's extend again. Nice. They say Iken beats really bad, so the one space jump is probably the most common move in a Go game because it
Sure.
always feels right. Well, sometimes it's not, but there are always exceptions for every rule and proverb.
For sure.
Did you watch any professional games or replay some from time to time?
I have watched a couple of professional games. Like the AGA puts out pretty good
Oh, yeah,
commentary on pro
right.
games, so I've watched some of those. Um,
And have you seen any of the
it,
AlphaGo? Like Michael Redmond commenting on the AG playing against himself or
yep, I've seen some of that.
Mhm.
To be honest, I mean, I'm only like a 910 Q, so
Yeah,
those are pretty far beyond my level.
that's true.
But
That's far
I do learn
beyond
a lot from those.
everybody's level. Even Redmond is looking puzzled of some of the moves and
So like when I watch other people's games on PandaNet, I try to limit it to like one or two
uh-huh.
Don because I can kind of understand what's happening in those games.
Oh, I see.
And I think much beyond that, I don't
Well, there are,
like I can look at the moves, but I can't really understand what's happening.
there are lots of pro games like in the games played by the Japanese players back in the day, maybe in the early 90s or just before 2000 when Korean players started to dominate the Go scene. They used to play very beautiful shapes and the game always looked artistic from the shape point of view. So those games are
Hmm.
much easier to follow than the games nowadays because if
Yeah,
you look
yeah,
at the games played by Chinese or Korean top pros these days, they just fight. So their reading skill is really tremendous and you cannot really follow what happens if you don't understand the reading behind each sequence. So
exactly.
they are really good.
That's
It's
that's why I love
it's
the
brute
the
force,
commentary. Yeah.
pretty much. So let's see if you can escape with this group. All right. Fight Club. Hmm. You're almost out.
Yeah. Almost isn't out though.
Okay,
I'm looking at either escaping or living, so we'll see which one happens.
yeah, probably leaving it's an option.
Yeah.
So if I go down, you play Atari, 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 and ouch. Let's fight some more. I don't really want to kill you. I prefer killing 7 dans on Taichem or W Baduk. That's my daughter in the background.
Oh, how old's your daughter?
She can't hear you because I have the headset on. But we'll tell her. Oh wow. How about Atari? So can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Alright,
Yep.
Skype is telling me something. It's wrong with the quality here.
Oh,
But
I think you sound just fine.
yeah, I think the same. So you have some eyes, you wanna cut me. It's interesting. Tesuji time.
Hmm.
Wow.
Oh, it's a bad choice. Sorry.
Yeah, you gotta try it. You gotta see things happening. It's good.
That was totally Gote. No.
Well, not really. You can connect under next, but
Yep.
it's big to let you connect under. So it was actually Sente.
Okay.
But let me see something. If you play here, here. Hmm. All right. Let's keep the bottom. That's big.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Time to make some eyes, huh?
Yep. Yep.
All right. Oh, I have to play the ugly move.
Yeah. Otherwise, that threatens those 2 stones, right?
Yeah, when you play a move here, I have to play inside. Well, I probably still need to play inside.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
And you can still run a little bit.
Yeah. I guess just connect to the right side is fine.
For now.
Yeah, yeah. It can still be cut though, right?
Yeah, a little bit. But trying to make the center like Takemiya, the cosmic style player.
Yep.
Okay, that's big.
And
Also big.
yeah, makes you have to choose what you want to do. Oh dear.
That's a probe.
What should I do about this?
That's my question too. With this move, how you react? Good to know.
Yeah, I was thinking connecting to that stone and potentially connecting to the top would make my life easier than attacking it directly.
Yeah. So let's hope it doesn't die, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, first I'm still chasing those little stones in the center a little bit. And now it's time to leave.
I'm being greedy again.
Getting dangerous. Well, I gotta build something attacking so harsh. Oh, my little two stones died.
Too small, huh?
That's compensation for giving me the left side.
Oh, yeah. The whole left side's dead, isn't it?
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
But you got back the center. You live with the group. Those 4 stones.
Mm.
And well, let's try something here.
Chad is telling me to go after the right stones. I mean, the white stones on the
those
right
three.
side.
Good luck. They are quite solid. And actually, I'm also attacking this group, so they become even stronger. I reinforce attacking. I don't just want to connect in the middle, so good shape for both sides. Okay. Can I just bump one time? No, bit small. Okay, my right side is safe now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to connect the middle, huh?
Yeah. That would have been my next move, was to connect my stones.
That was the next target, I know. Uh-oh. Let's make a little squeeze. Actually, I can go out, huh? And then Atari. But I like this. One of my favorite techniques. The Shibori technique. Gives you a nice looking shape and then connect.
Yeah. That's a beautiful dumpling, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Here, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. I'm going to make an ugly shape here. Keep sacrificing stones.
Oh, thanks for the follow, Yggdrasil.
How about this move first? Another dumpling. It's coming. Alright, now...
Oh, you're trying to cut my groups apart, I see.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you the plan, but you noticed right away. Too obvious, huh?
It's not too obvious. You gained some territory around 04 with that too. Or my whole group dies. I'm not sure which one
or the
yet.
corner suffer. We'll see.
Yeah. All the bad things.
All the bad news are coming from this. Okay.
Right.
That shows some fighting spirit. Good. So let's fight a ko.
Is it a ko?
It can be a big one.
Oh, yeah.
There's no game of Go without a ko.
Take my local threat first.
I see. Now we're playing the ko.
Now it's a real ko, right?
It's a pretty nice one. Sizable ko. Can I just throw in? Not too small.
Oh, I have to capture that anyway, don't I?
All yeah. Right. Well, I just wanted to make sure you have only one eye in case You get separated, so
Yep. What's big?
many big moves.
Yep.
Well, that group can escape, huh? Let's
Yep.
trade. It's interesting for the audience.
Okay. Oh dear.
So the big dragon, it's pretty dead.
Yeah, it's
we'll
very
find
dead.
out.
It's looking rather dead.
The right side, it's pretty big anyway. All right, that's almost one eye. How big is this cut? Cut, Atari. Maybe I need to protect. Oh yeah. You need a second eye here, but it's difficult to make.
Yeah, I don't know that I can make it.
Yeah, it was spectacular. It's good to play with fighting spirit. That's something. So here, if you play the peep, I gotta connect and you cut me. Wow.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I know. Luckily, I've seen that. Now let's see how you live in the corner. All right. Uh-oh.
Oh, I should have Atari the other way. Oh.
If you Atari the other way, I still play here. I think you
Okay.
shouldn't push at all. You should play directly S3. And then you just leave. But even like this, you can leave with a call. You take, I take, and then you throw in, and I take, and then you play R1 in center. You can throw in T2, and that makes R1 descend center.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So first I need to take the call, then you play a call threat. For example, no,
Oh,
not
no,
like
I did
this.
it wrong.
You gotta take again. Like this? Well, I connect, and then when you connect, it's 1, 2, 3. Let's undo this one.
Right.
Just to see
Okay.
the idea with the throw in Tetsuji. Because anyway, after you die with a center dragon, the difference is too big.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's undo a few moves. Okay, sorry. You throw in. It's my turn.
Okay.
My bad. I click undo again.
And you're saying T2 then?
Yeah, just T2. Or you can descend first, R1, and then play T2.
I see.
The idea is when you play R1, if I want to kill the group, I have to play M1. So then you go Atari S1, and I can't connect. I need to fight the Ko. It's Dame Tsumari. The shortage of liberty is to connect 2 stones, and then you capture 4. So you just descend R1.
Okay.
R1 threatens 2 things. If I connect on the right, T2, you drop down at M1 and you have 4 in line. So I gotta push here. And now you play S1. So now it's a direct call. I gotta take the call. I can't connect. If I play T2, you take everything. If I play T4, you take 2 stones and you make ice. So I gotta capture the call. And now as a local call threat, you play N1. And if I play P1, you capture the call.
I see.
You see, I can't connect T2 or T. Well, I can connect T4, but then I let you leave. So the plan was to kill or to gain something out of the call. As a call threat, for example, I can play Atari here. Then you connect or you capture 2 stones. Probably connect. No, you can.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna capture.
Take is good.
Either way looks
Yeah.
similar.
Well, like this, you still need a move at F15 to block. And now you need to find the call threat, and you have plenty because you have a large group in the middle, completely dead, so you can threaten to make life. For example, you can play K6.
Yep. And then take the Ko back.
The problem is that when you have such a large dead group, you can't really afford ignoring any call threat because you're behind, so you wanna stay alive.
Sure.
So let's say I play something here. Wait a second. Park. It's another call. Just slide. Well, actually, this one you can ignore because the corner is bigger, so you capture T2 also.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I should also push here. That feels big.
Okay. And my endgame is pretty terrible, so...
Yeah, but here it doesn't matter. You can resign anytime because the group is too large. But if you just want to see how the endgame goes, you can play a few more moves.
Sure.
It's just that we don't
This
need
feels pretty
to
big.
finish the game and count it. It's really not so important to count and lose by lots of points.
Yeah, 50 points or so.
Yeah, on the maybe it's more. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But what happens if I cut C9? How would you react? You fight another call?
Let's see. C. Oh.
Let me show you. It's another call.
Yeah.
You go C10. And then if I connect, you play the wedge, and then Atari and Atari on the first line. Well, here I can just play B11 and let you connect. But if I'm ambitious, I mean, I want to kill everything, and it's greedy style, you shouldn't do that. Now A9, and you fight the call.
Yep.
Well, there's nothing to lose, so why not? And now let's see, what are the threats? Something at least like, I don't know, 10 points to compensate the loss on the left side.
I mean, I still have a threat for life here.
That's pretty big. That's, I don't know, 60 points, maybe more. Well, I can also cut a few stones in the corner. How about this cut?
That just leads to way more threats, doesn't it?
You could play Atari D18, but anyway, I had the Atari in the middle. Or you could just ignore and take the left side, give me the top. But yeah, when you play E17, I play B18, and that's a center move. So you still need to play D18. But if you play D18, when I play B18, that doesn't force you play inside. It's a small difference. Is this really center?
I was looking, if I connect at J2, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 liberties to your 1, 2, 3, 4 in the triangle group, and that gives me life too.
You're right.
So it looks co-thready enough.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Do you die in the top if I play M19 and you don't answer? No, you don't die, but you suffer. Anyway, this is big.
Yeah. Yeah, that would lose me 8 points to 2, 4, 6, 12.
Yeah, you can ignore also. The left side is
Yeah, I
pretty
think
big
I'll ignore it.
But I had no other threats. You were quite solid everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the end game, moves like this on the second line are quite valuable. Second and first line, and especially corners. This move, for example, for you is big because you block like 3-4 points in the middle. But for me to connect, it's nothing because you take 2 stones, I take 1 back. It's just 1 point, so I can play somewhere else. No, you could block. You could play Atari and connect, or you could actually play just N18. Because like this, I play the attach, and you need to Atari, connect, and still connect at P18. So you just lose like 2 or 3 more points, and it's still got it.
Right, okay.
So you could play N18 right away, and if I push, you just block, and you save 3 extra points.
That makes sense.
Then Honey here becomes center too. Yeah, big. This is also big. I don't want you to play center here.
What else do we have? There's not much else on the board,
yeah,
actually.
you can take C15 in center. those 2 stones, and I take 1 back.
Oh yeah.
Then you can capture on the left side at A12, because then you have Atari on the first line, so I'm going to block. And you just leave it like that. You can fight the call later.
Okay.
What else? Push Q12. Also take T4 is big. But you can push Q12.
Oh, Q.
Q12, yeah, and I have to block.
Right.
No, not this one. This is O12 on the right.
Oh, I'm
Because like this, you
sorry.
take Gote. I'm going to Atari, and you need to connect the 3 stones. So hang on a second, please.
Sure.
Alo. Alo. Nu știu, eu sunt pe Twitch TV. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Wife is calling. But she wants to talk to the kids, so it's alright.
Okay, perfect.
Wife, it's a good distraction to the Go games, so you can lose games. Well, this Atari I can block, or I can let you take a stone. But I'm going to block. And you should also play T4. That's a center
Okay.
move. You capture 1 stone, then I have to connect. Then
Right.
what else?
Said
B7.
P4.
Wait. E10 in the center. It's your center too. E10,
E.
and then I block F10.
Right.
That's 1 point. Which one? P4.
Yeah.
That one
Oh,
I
that's
can
not.
ignore because you can push again. It's 1 point. But B7 is slightly bigger. When I play B7, I can make 2 or 3 points here,
Gotcha.
and that's pretty much it. So
Okay.
yeah, P4 it's your move too. Well, I can honey here once. You know what happens when white Atari G19? What you can do? If I Atari next.
Yeah, I can just connect, right?
It's better not to. You can play Atari H19 and then Atari from behind. Let's put it on the board.
Okay, I see. Sure.
That's it's the same.
So you're saying Atari
Yeah,
this way?
because when I connect, you play Atari, and I can't connect. This is the damage smart again, like in the corner.
I see.
So this shouldn't happen. Undo.
Okay.
If you connect, I will connect under. So this is bigger. You can push though.
Right.
M15. And then also push P4. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Here I can push this in center. It's good to block. Then I Atari and connect, destroy a couple of points. Then you can push O4. That's Atari in center. Now it's probably big to block at H16, because if I push and I honey in the top, then you lose 2 more points.
Yeah.
So either play this one or you play the honey on the right side. Well, Atari on 3 stones, you have to answer. And that's pretty much it. Here you can push B6, or you can block A7. And then there's the 2 points move on the right. So when you play Atari A7, you make a point, and I have to connect. But this move here, it's 2 points. So you gotta block with Atari. I connect, then you play A7, I need to connect. And then you can make a point at Q15. Or actually push T5. And then I block. Otherwise I play T5, I make a point, and I can take a call. So with T5, you make a point, or you destroy a point, but you prevent the call. And then when I play here Q15, I destroy a point, but then you can fill a call on the left side. That one you don't have to take right away. Well, it's the same. I can fill a call here, you fill the other one at A11. And
let's see. Oh, okay.
it's finished, huh? Now we can score.
Yeah.
So let's have a look.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, I'm sure
to play all the neutral points here. It's Japanese rules.
Yeah, it's AGA rules as well, sort of.
Yeah. So pass.
Okay, I'll pass as well.
Wow. This was quite big, huh? The dragon.
Yeah, it was painful.
It escaped in the first part of the fight. Then
Yeah, I
he
thought I
gave
was
me back,
connected.
huh?
Yeah, I did. You know, I'm generous. It's Thanksgiving, so
Nice. Thank you very much.
nearly Christmas.
I,
Thank you so
I
much for
hope
the
you learned
game and
something.
for teaching me.
Good. We'll
Yeah.
see you next time for a revenge. Next time you don't have to lose under 50 points. I mean, it has to be under 50, not above that.
Okay, I'll study hard.
Good. Well, you have to go over the game we had. I'm going to send it by Skype or email later, so you have all the variations there, and
Yep.
then just play and focus. And next time, punish them in the corners when they give you the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. See you soon.
Awesome. Yep. Talk to you later.
All
Thanks so much.
best. Have a nice weekend, and enjoy the
You too.
Thanksgiving Day if you're still in holiday there. Bye bye.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Good.
Bye.
Ciao.
All right, chat. That was really cool. That's my first Go lesson ever. That was very exciting. Oh, let me close that. And did y'all enjoy that? Did y'all learn anything? Was that cool for you? If so, consider donating to help me pay for future lessons if you want to. If not, it's all good. I'm not begging for money here. But if you found that interesting or enlightening and you would like to see more content like that, if you feel like donating, go ahead. If not, it's totally cool. I would like to have more lessons with Cornel, so I'm going to schedule them as time allows. And this was really cool for me personally. There were a lot of things I hadn't thought about before, and especially him reviewing like a 10Q versus 9Q game, that helped me a lot because there are certain habits I developed that just aren't optimal. And also, let me plug Cornel. He's available for lessons, and you can contact him through PandaNet as Cornel, and you can also contact him through Twitch on the chat. He's Cornel Go on Twitch. So if you would like to get lessons from an 8 Dan, you can. So please, definitely want to plug him. I thought that was really cool, for one thing, that he would teach someone at my level. And I enjoyed the lesson. So hopefully I'm looking forward to my next one, honestly.